What's up, Internet? Welcome to Once Over. I'm Kaylee, and with me today, I have Woody from Syracuse, and we're going to be giving the Once Over to Showgirls.
Must be weird not having anybody come on you.
There will be titties. I mean, spoilers.
So many titties.
Give it a good once-over.
Giving us the once-over.
Giving him the once-over.
Give me a once-over.
Down to give us the once-over.
For a routine once-over.
Once-over.
Oh, just once over lightly.
Woody, thank you so much for joining me to talk about this 1995 monstrosity of a film that I personally would argue is not even saved by the titties. That's how much I hate this movie. I am so excited to be talking with you about it, though.
I remember you mentioning that on Rico. It's like the tits don't even save the movie. It doesn't. We were even gonna do at one moment. We were talking from Justin to Kelly. And you said, maybe you have another suggestion. And I said, I saw a Red Letter Media video of a re-review of Showgirls. And it's like, that might be good. I don't know if she's ever done that one before. I'm not sure. But it's like, give her a shot. Give it a shot. She says, sure, let's do it. It's like, cool. I had a few days off and I rewatched it again on HBO. It's like, okay, I'm ready.
Oh, I don't think I'm ever ready for this one. Now, this movie truly has become a cult classic. It has the cult status. It gets the midnight screenings. People love it. I think, ironically, I personally don't get that because to me, this is not a movie that fits into the so bad that it's good category, but rather just a movie that is so bad. It is obviously a erotic drama, I think is how I would categorize it. How would you describe this movie, Woody?
Crap. Utter sleazy crap. Speaking of that, years ago, I did see a midnight screening in Syracuse at the Palace Theater. They did have a midnight screening of Showgirls, and I went to see it.
I'm not surprised.
It didn't have the same vibe as a Rocky Horror. Because I'm saying, like, the first line of the movie, it's like, oh, I'm waiting for AC to pick me up. Where is he? And stuff like that. And people are saying, shut up. It's like, okay, it's going to be one of those movies.
I don't really fully understand why people find it so fascinating unless it's just that they really like titties. But again, I don't feel like that saves it. So I guess the plot of the movie, let's kind of give people the basis of this movie, which is hard to do. But effectively, Elizabeth Berkeley's character, Nomi, is heading to Las Vegas and she wants to become a showgirl.
What are you going to Vegas for? You going to win?
I'm going to dance.
However,
I want to be a dancer.
She wants to be a dancer. It's very important that she's a dancer. She is very offended by anybody who thinks otherwise of her, anybody who thinks that she might be a little bit of a whore. She does not like that, even in the slightest. And she is, let's say, a ball of energy. I think it's possible that she storms off of the screen more times in this movie than we get to see boobies.
Sooner or later, you're going to have to sell it.
You don't know shit. You can fuck me when you love me.
And
way
impressive.
too much. She still had that energy of the pep pills from Saved by the Bell.
I'm so excited! I'm so excited! I'm so scared!
She really did. Okay, so what would you say is kind of like the baseline of the movie? Do you think that this is supposed to be a satire? Do you think it's supposed to be a drama? Do you think it's exploitation? Do you think it's sensual in some way?
Well, the director, Paul Verhoeven, you know who he is, obviously. RoboCop, obviously. Starship Troopers, Basic Instinct.
Have you ever fucked on cocaine, Nick?
Great movies. Honestly, of all of them, I said Starship Troopers is one of his best. It was so cool to watch. It's sort of like he makes a little bit of satire in those past movies like RoboCop and, of course, Starship Troopers. Maybe a little bit of a satire in this one there, too. But when you said erotic drama, that'd be more Basic Instinct, which is miles better than this movie.
I think this is trying to be an erotic drama, but I almost think that Verhoeven is mocking everybody in this movie, including the audience. And so there's a little bit of confusion on my end about whether that's intentional or it's just sloppy filmmaking. And I agree with you. His other movies are great. I'm a huge RoboCop fan.
Stay out of trouble.
So like, it's weird that this fell so far from grace.
It could be a little bit of a satire. It's hard to say. Maybe it's like the seedy underbelly of the Vegas showgirl life and the strip clubs and whatnot there too, you know. It's hard to explain. Like I said, it's like, but he had to get the message out there with all the nudity and stuff like that. And I'll give it to Elizabeth Berkley, and I feel horrible for her that after leaving, you know, as you know who she is, obviously you were a kid, you saw Saved by the Bell. She was Jessie Spano, the feminist, the eco ranger and stuff like that. And she left the show like right near the last season. She was gone for a few months. That's the Tory phase of the Saved by the Bell high school years. The one in the leather jacket, obviously making this movie. And it's like a big stretch going to that and that. And obviously taking this movie ruined her career without question. Without question. Years ago, she hung up to it. It's like, yeah, that was a bad movie, but I kind of accepted it there too. And I feel bad for her. You look at her now, she's actually breathtaking. She still looks beautiful. God bless her. And I feel bad that it kind of ruined her career like this. You know?
Yeah.
It's horrible.
It's definitely challenging, I think, for women in Hollywood. You don't want to get typecast, so you take a role that is completely the opposite of your previous role. But her acting in this is so over the top. You know, she's screaming, she's flailing about, she has all these exaggerated reactions. Again, she's huffing and puffing and storming out of rooms constantly. Whenever anybody does anything the least bit offensive,
Sooner or later, you're going to have to sell it.
You don't know shit.
she is losing her mind over it. She can't handle it.
You did my nails. Yeah, fuck you, cunt. Go away.
The nails. Oh my God. I can't get over it. It's so very silly.
Do you like my nails? Not as nice as yours.
Maybe I'll help you with yours sometime.
How would you define this, though, as over the top? Are you talking Tommy Wiseau bad acting over the top, or is there another actor that you could compare this to as going over the limit?
So actually, a lot of her performance reminds me of a lot of the performances that Nicolas Cage gives that I don't like. So, for example, Nicolas Cage in The Wicker Man. The bees.
No, not the bees! Not the bees!
That's effectively what I feel like Elizabeth Berkley is doing in this movie.
I'll give you a little bit of trivia there too, and I know I'm going off kilter with the Nicolas Cage on The Wicker Man. I've seen that there, well, as being ripped with riff tracks.
Yeah,
Not the Bees wasn't in the actual movie. That was actually a deleted scene.
Yep.
It was not in the real. Like I said, it was not in the real movie. It was a deleted scene, but that made it to a famous meme of him.
Yeah.
And of course, that movie is utterly horrible, obviously. So
it's utterly horrible. It's absolutely the worst. It might be worse than this, actually. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about Elizabeth Berkley's character, Nomi Malone. So Nomi is, again, she is this. We don't really know if she's a small town girl. She's very closeted about what her past is. She doesn't want anybody to know anything about her. She's very defensive. And we can't really figure out her motivation other than wanting to be this star of the show. Did you find her to be likable at any point during the film?
What, maybe at first when you think like, okay, I'm a new girl, right off the bus, I want to be a star in Hollywood kind of feeling, too. I don't know. She's just like really, really, really sensitive towards the littlest things. Is really hard to say. I mean, you look. Obviously, the very first when she meets her best friend down there, I forgot her name. I forgot her name.
Not a hooker, are you?
Molly. She's like, "Where you been all these? So where you from? Back east. Where back east? Just around, okay?" And she has a temper tantrum with fries. I was like, "Whoa, okay."
Where are you from?
Back east.
From where back east?
Different places.
I've never seen someone aggressively eat French fries like her. It's like with a ketchup bottle. Like, okay, are you drilling for oil or having a snack? I don't know what you're doing.
She, and all of her relationships are actually quite peculiar. So let's talk about how she meets Molly. The very first interaction that we get to see with Nomi is actually her hitchhiking in order to get to Vegas. And she meets a guy named Jeff who drives her to Vegas. And the first thing she does is pull a knife on him.
You can sit a little bit closer if you want. It was a bad idea.
So we're supposed to assume that she's kind of like hardened and she knows how to handle herself. But she clearly doesn't, because Jeff quickly robs her. And as she is freaking out because Jeff has just robbed her, she starts banging on who it turns out is Molly's car. Molly sees her and is like, stop hitting my car. What the heck are you doing? Within 10 minutes, they're best friends and moving in with each other. How does that transition happen? Nomi vomits everywhere. And then Molly's like, oh, you want to live with me? That's the last person I'm offering a place to live.
And first off, also, you've been to Vegas. I've only been to Vegas once, and I've done research going to Vegas there, too, of what to do and what not to do. Obviously, when you someone gives you a ride as a hitchhiker to Vegas, oh, you want a job? Let me ask my uncle. You just met him 3 hours ago. And it's like, let me ask my uncle for a job. Really?
So
really? It's like, here, just take my money. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. Who even cares about money? Nobody cares about money in Vegas. Nobody does anything with money in Vegas, right? That's so boring. I really struggled with Nomi because she was so inconsistent that I didn't feel like I ever was rooting for her. And therefore, I didn't care what happened at the end of the film with her. And I think that that's the biggest challenge with a main character that isn't fully thought out, is that if I don't care about the main character, then what do I care about the movie?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
She's so abrasive. And again, the little temper tantrums, I think your example with the French fries is perfect. There are so many other examples where she's just being a whiny little baby. She gets offered ice cubes to make her nipples hard and she loses her mind over it.
Here, put some ice in them.
What are you upset about, girl? Like, eat your French fries and take an ice cube.
I know it. It's bizarre too. I know, it's like with the ice cubes. Like, all right, nipple up your tits. Like, okay. Maybe that's how it's done. I don't know. I have no idea.
It's very, very peculiar. So as Nomi is adjusting to life in Las Vegas, she gets a job at a nightclub called the Cheetah, which is just a topless bar.
Well, she needed to make money, obviously. Honestly, the only good character I actually like was the MC, the heavyset. Well, I don't know. I forgot. I don't know her name. The heavyset woman, where you like whips her arms and then honk, and her boobs pop out. It's like,
come on, here we go. Come on. One more time. Come on, try it harder. Yeah! Let me try it. Okay.
That's the only character I kind of liked in the whole movie altogether. Because she was kind of funny.
Is the best character. I
completely
agree. Fucking Christ, it's like a Japanese convention out there.
I also have never seen boobs quite like Henrietta's boobs ever before.
I'd have to piss on you to give you a clue.
They are unique, is what I think I want to say.
Maybe 1,000-pound sisters kind of size. I'm not sure. So
she's very likable though, because she's funny and she's a little bit sassy. She kind of reminds me of like a little bit like of like Sophie Tucker in the last of the Red Hot Mamas and like that kind of era of vaudeville. She's very very silly. I like it.
That's a perfect thing. The vaudeville kind of act. The vaudeville the vaudeville burlesque kind of genre, if you will. Yeah.
One of the other weird scenes that happens in the beginning of the film is that Nomi, which again is a stupid name. I want to say Naomi. She is so frustrated at the Cheetah because, again, she wants to go work at the Stardust. She wants to be the big fancy dancer in more of a burlesque style show instead of working at a strip club. But she can't. So she keeps getting frustrated working at the Cheetah. And so she just skips work all the time. And in one of the sequences where she skips work, her and her new best friend, Molly, who again hated each other minutes previous and now they're best buds, they end up going to a nightclub and dancing. And I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? Was that nightclub dance sequence?
You call that dancing?
Well,
it was a human car wash. Like, what are you waving flies off you? Or do you stink that much? Or is it some alternative sermon that you're doing in front of Joel Osteen? I don't know what you're doing there. But it's like moving her arms. Like, is that dancing?
You might be right. She might be more dancing in tongues. If you could dance in tongues, that's what she's doing right now instead of speaking in tongues. Well, while they're dancing at that nightclub, she ends up meeting a character named James, and James will follow her all throughout the movie. He works odd jobs. Nomi keeps getting him fired from all of his jobs. And the way that they meet in this nightclub is he says, I could teach you how to actually dance if you would like. And she kicks him in the balls for that.
It's a weird thing. I noticed, I was actually thinking about this a few days ago with these characters. Not only the strip club owner and Henrietta, but also James. It seems like they're like kind of in a weird way, kind of like James is kind of like sort of the guardian angel to her, saying, "You're not doing this. Is not the right thing you're supposed to do. You should be doing this there too." And it's weird. I kind of see also like the strip club owner Al, played by Robert Davi, and Henrietta. It's like sort of like the mother and father in a way. The father's kind of the abusive father, but the Henrietta's like the mother, the good mother that she cares about and stuff like that. We'll get to that part where they visit her at Stardust. We'll get to that part in a second. But it's like he's trying to show her the right way too. But obviously he's after one thing. Obviously, we'll get to that part in a second too.
Yes. James. James is a challenging character for me. I don't really know if I like him or I dislike him. But I do think that he's at least one of the more well-rounded characters within the film. There's a lot of characters. That's one of the bigger challenges of this movie also is that, again, it becomes really hard to care for anybody because there's just so many people. We're constantly being introduced to new characters in this one. So after Nomi is unimpressed by James and kicks him in the balls, she gets kicked out of the nightclub, and the result of her getting kicked out of the nightclub is that she goes to jail.
She started it! Fuck you! Party's over!
Malone. Yeah.
You're out of here.
What? Why does she go to jail?
I have I never even thought of this all this time. It's like, I have no idea. It probably just the okay, you're out of here kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't understand that sequence at all. And there are a lot of sequences like that in this film where I almost feel like this was intended to be a 3-hour-long movie. And instead of making it a 3-hour-long movie, they made it just over 2-hour-long movie.
Yeah.
But more should have been cut out. Like, don't bring her to jail. Just end the nightclub scene. Done.
Well, it did a part too, like when Molly took Nomi to see the show in Stardust. By the way, the show is called Goddess, and takes her backstage and stuff like that to see everything around there too. At the end, they do a news conference, and I'm going, is this a slow news day? What's going on here? They're having a news day of like the newest star at the Stardust, and one of the guys who runs a hotel, it's like, and I took notes of this here. I might be skipping there. Says we could have had anybody. We could have had LaToya, Suzanne, maybe Suzanne Summers, Janet Jackson, Paula Abdul. Like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get nude for this. Okay, sure. Slow news day for you.
I want to hop back. You totally brought up actually probably the only sequence that I like. So Molly is actually a seamstress, and she works for the Stardust and does all the costuming for all of the showgirls at the Stardust. And Nomi gets to go and watch Molly at work, which is of course very, very exciting for Nomi. And I love the sequence where Nomi gets to see the backstage and everybody's getting ready. And then Nomi transitions into going up a staircase. She goes out a door and she gets to see the show. And that's a really beautiful sequence. And it's probably the best scene in the entire film. It's probably the best thought out scene in the entire film. It's probably the best shot scene in the entire film because we actually get to see all of the girls getting ready, running up the staircase, and then getting to see Nomi experience all of the hard work that's going on in the backstage. And that's a really cool moment. Which
they have to do maybe about 6 or 7 times a night for that. They got to go up and down the stairs for just changes and stuff like that. Obviously, they bust their butt, obviously. And it went for real. They very bust their butts. See, if you get, and weird thing enough, too, it's like with this, like I said, they bust their butts. Even with the strip clubs, I feel... I understand they got to earn their money and stuff like that. It's a bit shady, yes, but some are very, and I gotta admit, honestly, they're very talented dancers. They absolutely are truly talented dancers there too, and the stuff they got to go through to do it. But yeah. But that is a good. But you make a good point. Never thought of that, but that actually is a well shot thing, and get her like a child going to Disneyland for the first time. It's like, can I see the show? I really want to see the show. It's like, wow, this was awesome. Oh, I can't believe it. You know.
Yeah. It's getting to see how all the gears work behind the scenes at Disneyland and then getting to see what it actually turns into. It's very exciting. And I really, really love that. So in the same way that Nomi is working at the Cheetah at this topless bar, we also get introduced to Crystal, who is the star of the show. She is the goddess at the Stardust.
She's dazzling, she's exciting, and she's very, very sexy.
Crystal and Nomi have a very interesting relationship throughout the entire film. At times it seems a little bit lesbian to me. It's definitely a little bit I don't know what they are. What are they?
I don't know.
What are they,
well,
Woody?
I have no idea. Love, hate, you can't even qualify that. Of course, we know the person who plays Crystal is Gina Gershon. And honestly, like I said, she was one of the highlights of the movie. She was actually very good. The movie was crap, but she knew what was just getting into. She was just having a lot of fun with it. God bless her. She's having a lot of fun with it. And if you see something like that, you can't just half-ass it through here and there. You want to have fun with it, even though the movie might come out bad at the end. I hear so many reviews say this one, at least they're having fun with it. They're trying, you know. What can you do? She does a good job, obviously. It takes a lot of bravery. Yes.
And I would say she comes across, so she is supposed to be kind of the foil to Nomi's character. And she does come across as a little bit evil. She comes across as a little nefarious, she's doing something wrong. But you still kind of want to root for her. Would you agree with that?
Maybe well, we'll get to that part of the end, but maybe you feel bad what happened to her at the very end. But it's like it could be just it could be anything. Who knows? You like her, you hate her, and stuff like that. You think she likes her, but it's like of a very nefarious way, devilish ways. It's like, oh, I don't know. I like your nails and stuff like that. It's hard. It's hard to put a beat on it. Honestly, I really don't know.
Yeah. And Crystal, you know, I mean, she takes, I guess, a liking, at least a little bit, to Nomi. And
mostly the nails.
And yeah, it's the nails. It's got to be the nails.
Your friend has nice nails.
She does them herself.
Maybe she can do mine sometime.
She ends up going to watch Nomi strip at the Cheetah with her boyfriend, who is, of course, I always want to call him Kyle. It's not Kyle. His name in this movie is Zach. But
it's Kyle MacLachlan. We all know
Kyle MacLachlan. So Crystal and Zach go and watch Nomi strip, and I had a very big issue actually with this strip sequence, which is that Nomi licks the pole, which is the most disgusting thing that I can possibly imagine a stripper doing.
Here are my notes for that scene. Pole lick. Ew. That's pretty much it.
Ew. Why would you do that?
I don't know. And even too, when you know, if you when you go to strip clubs after people perform, after the dancer perform, they actually go out and spray Windex on the mirrors and the pole to clean it all up. It's like you're licking chemicals too. Not only is like God knows what else, but chemicals as well. It's like, ew, that's pretty sick shit.
That was a hard moment to watch, but of course, Nomi shortly thereafter storms off the stage when Crystal makes kissy faces at her. I don't know why that's so upsetting to our lovely Nomi, but it was. Whatever. It doesn't really matter though, because Crystal and Zach end up paying for a private dance with Nomi, which is arguably one of the most famous scenes of this movie, I would say.
Well, similar, that we'll get to that part, but the movement, she looked like a limping catfish out of water. What the fuck what in God's name was that? She's doing
extremely spastic.
It's like I'm looking at JoJo Siwa at 30. It's like I'm looking at her dance routines and Dance Moms. Like, what are you doing?
You know, I think I would rather watch JoJo Siwa dance than watch Elizabeth Berkeley, even with her tits out, do any of these dances.
Oh yeah, and also not only though that out, but everything's out too. Many are full, nothing on. What can you say?
Yes, full frontal in this movie, absolutely.
I noticed this here too. I noticed a few things too. I want to backtrack here. Obviously, Robert Davi, the club owner, Al, is he has the weirdest lines in all of cinema, and we'll get to one at the towards later on. I actually wrote this down. When he hires a new dancer, she goes, she's a new dancer, and he goes, "Hey, if you want to last longer than a week, you'll give me a BJ." Okay, and then afterwards, it's like, first you get used to the money, then I'll make you swallow. Okay.
Yep, he is supposed to be a pervy jerk face. He does a good job as a pervy jerk face.
Oh yeah, he does one thing too, where like everybody laughs at him, and then for some reason he commands everyone to stop. He pulls his fingers up and go, "Oh," and everyone stops laughing. Like, okay, whatever that was. And also, I noticed on the dancing, not only of all the dancing, the cheetah, but all the dancing period, you hear a lot of grunting of all the dancers, like, like. Do we need to hear that part?
I actually don't mind that. I think that that's realistic, especially when they're like in practices. I think that that's realistic. As a person who, go dances with the surf rock band, the Isotopes, right. I will say that when we are practicing, that is the gross, disgusting noises that we make. Our knees crack a lot because we're old, but I felt like it was realistic.
I mean, I've only seen you guys perform once in Rochester. Yep. And like I said, it's like for go-go dancers, like I said, it's very tame. It's very tame, old school 60s, very tame, very, very nice and stuff like that. You're not gyrating like in a nightclub or anything like that. It's like, of course, there's kids present, but you do it very, I would say, very classy.
Notice,
very classy.
You know what I've never noticed? So I haven't watched this movie in a very long time because I hate Showgirls so very much. And I noticed that one of the Isotopes go-go dancers moves is a move that Elizabeth Berkeley and the other characters do in this movie a whole bunch, which is like twisting the hand towards the the stage a whole bunch. And I was like, no, we do that. I was like, we got to get that out of all of our dances. We can't keep doing it. No.
Yeah, I see some of the dancers, especially her. It's like she's churning butter with her crotch. That's what it looks like sometimes on the pole.
That is a really good way to describe it. She throws her body around in ways that I have never seen a woman do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about it, but it is what it is. And of course, I mean, again, I want to go back to her giving the private dance to our lovely friend Kyle. Jesus, Zach. I'm never going to not be able to call him Kyle. He's Kyle.
It's Kyle MacLachlan. We know he's a great actor. We know who he is.
Why
and
is
that
he
hair
in
was
this
bothering
movie?
me. I don't know. That hair in his eyes just kept bothering me the whole time. It's like, comb it back. It's gonna annoy. It's annoying the shit out of me.
I think that was just the style at the time in 1995.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah. So during this lap dance sequence, again, we get the full frontal nudity. And the positioning of the room is that Zach is sitting on one side and Crystal is sitting on the other side. And Nomi, who is very upset about having to perform this dance, is in between the two, mostly on top of Zach. And again, very spastic. She's like grinding on him in the least erotic way of all time. And somehow that still brings him to completion. So I suppose good for him.
Sandpaper.
I can't imagine any of that being good, but he liked it.
He's a human lathe to her. It's like she's a human sander to his to his designer pants, I guess.
Very silly. It's very, very silly. Now, Nomi has to celebrate having performed this lap dance the next day with her best friend Molly. So the two of them go shopping and they end up going into Versace, or as she calls it,
Versace.
Nice dress.
Thanks. I bought it at Versace. In the forum?
Oh, yeah, Versace. I love Versace.
Me too.
Versace. That's also maybe one of the more memorable parts of this movie is Nomi being so naive that she doesn't know how to properly pronounce the very expensive fashion brand Versace. And so she's just saying it wrong to everybody.
And finally, she even saw, now I have the money. I figure in her past, she was struggling to make ends meet. Now she got the money, and now she could get something that's actually nice and classy for herself to make herself feel better.
Yeah. Do you think it made her feel better?
Well, if you got the money, there's something you really want to buy, like a TV or a computer or maybe a new car, or for a lady, maybe a beautiful dress. It's like, it'll make you feel better for sure.
A nice Versace dress.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I that sequence again it's another weird one. Again, it becomes very memorable from this movie, but I don't know that I necessarily need any of that. This does, though, result, the next scene after this is Nomi actually getting an audition to try out to become one of the chorus line dancers at the Stardust. Mm-hmm. And so she's very excited about that audition. She gets through the first dance round. And then this is when she gets insulted that she would need to use ice on her nipples.
I love the lines from the guy who runs the place. It's like, all right, ladies, show me your tits, just like that. It's like, okay, yeah. And I love someone who's like, what class have you taken? I took dance classes, ballet classes, jazz classes. Hey, this is God. This is the Stardust. This isn't classes. Get out of here.
Yep. Yeah, he has very high standards for people who are going to be in this chorus line. He dismisses one girl because she has ears that are too big. He has very, very high standards, but Nomi actually makes the cut. Probably because Crystal is somewhere backstage pulling some strings. That's at least the implication.
And if you think about it there too, as well, it's like, you've seen the movie Casino?
Yes.
Okay. Obviously back then, I mean, for obviously it wasn't this gratuitous, obviously, But for the showgirls down there in Vegas back in the 70s, of course, they had to abide to this and that and this and that. Like people, I think it was a dance troupe from overseas. And Ace Rothstein said, you got to be this way. You got to look like this. You got to weigh this. You got to weigh that and stuff like that. If not, you're all going back. Not one, you're all going back there. So they pretty much they have their in a way standards for those types of shows, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, which I think is very much the standard, but I don't know that that's a problem when you're making a visual show. But that's a bigger question than we're going to be able to answer today.
Yeah,
I'm going to go back into the fact that Crystal got Nomi the audition here. Now,
without question,
I think that a large point of this movie is the power dynamic between Crystal and Nomi, who has the upper hand between those two characters. And my challenge with this movie, and again, the reason that I would argue that it is not so bad that it's good, is that if they had just hashed out that power dynamic in a more thoughtful way, this movie could have been incredible. Because now, if that had happened, we would have gotten to see these two girls duking it out in order to achieve their goals. But instead, it fell so flat every single time the two of them were arguing, because every single time Nomi's response to Crystal being a bitch is to storm out of the room.
Oh, that one right. See ya, Pollyanna.
And I can't respect her for that at all.
Again, to me, it's well, of course, in our universe, she's like a stuttering John. Yes. It's like you try to bring up something to them, and they'll storm up and say, "Making fun of me? No, I'm not. I'm a victim. They're picking on me." Kind of like that mentality, in a way.
It truly is.
They can't take criticism. They can't take stand up. Well, not stand up for themselves, but it's like they're just saying a quick quip and then they get out the door. You know?
Yeah. This does finally result in Nomi getting the job at the Stardust. Thank God, because I could not stand watching her storm out of One More Thing. So she storms into the Cheetah and tells Al and Henrietta and everybody else there that she is leaving and she's never coming back. And she's very, very happy about it. And she goes to tell her friend James, who is choreographing dances now, and they're kind of falling for each other. She's just falling for people left and right is what's happening throughout the entire movie. So right now, she's kind of like James.
At this point, I think actually James was working at the Stardust as a valet.
Yes.
And got fired from that because he was just talking to somebody.
Yep. Yeah. James has had some bad luck, almost entirely centered around Nomi, actually. So she goes to, first of all, she's pissed off at James at this point, but then when she gets the job at the Stardust, she goes to excitedly tell him about the fact that she's got the job at the Stardust, and she jumps into his arms, and then he realizes that he's actually mid-fucking one of her coworkers.
Well, you're not going to give her my part, are you?
No, baby. She can't dance.
So now she doesn't like James again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're talking about Penny, the new girl there, correct?
Yep.
Oh, well, speaking of this Penny, oh my God. She's got a backstory herself. I'm talking a real person. Her Rhea, I believe her name is Rhea Ripple.
Okay.
And she plays Penny. Many years later, and if I could just look this up while I'm chatting here, believe it or not, there was a sequel to Showgirls.
Ugh.
I am not kidding.
It sounds like my own personal hell.
Oh, yeah, of course. And if I'm going to bring it up here, that's right. It's called Showgirls 2, Pennies from Heaven. It was released in 2011.
Wow.
Yeah, 2011. Directed by Rena Riffle, who played Penny. And oh my God, I'm like, this can't be real. I just looked this up right now, and I swear to God, this is real. Her full name is Penny Slot.
Oh.
Flot.
I like it.
Here's the description. Penny Slott, a stripper from Las Vegas, tries to become a star dancer on a dance television show. And that's the plot of the sequel, which is made on a
That
budget.
sounds like it's so bad that it's good.
You can say that too. It's sorry. I saw this years ago. I go, there was a sequel, and she made this. I couldn't believe it. It was made also for a budget of not this kind of budget, $30,000. So obviously straight to video. It's one of those. I couldn't believe there was even a sequel to this, and she made this about 15 years later.
That's also pretty narcissistic to create a sequel to a movie that everybody hated and then put your character's name in the title of the sequel of the movie that you're making. But whatever.
I don't know. It was just so bizarre. And I couldn't believe there was even a second. How can you make a sequel to this piece of junk? And sure enough, I figured it wasn't as filthy as this movie, obviously. But
you never know.
I don't know. It's what it is.
So this is the point in the movie where Nomi, all of her relationships are kind of like bouncing back and forth. So again, sometimes she likes James, sometimes she doesn't like James. She starts liking Zach. Zach sends her flowers after she does her first performance. So now she likes Zach. She's having challenges with Crystal and she hates Crystal, but then her and Crystal go out together and they bond over the fact that they both ate dog food.
Oh, I used to love doggy chow. I used to love doggy chow too.
Which is insane.
I love doggy chow.
Yeah, whatever. And we find out, this is when we find out that Nomi really hates being called a whore. And that's like her trigger. That is the number one thing that will make her storm out. But again, she just kind of keeps having all these relationships that bounce back. We even get to see that with Molly a little bit later in the film, where her relationship with Molly kind of waxes and wanes. Nomi just doesn't seem to be able to keep relationships happy and healthy.
I know. She's maybe she's turned into the dark side herself in a way. Later on down there too, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm saying when Crystal takes her to lunch for lunch at I believe it is called Spago in Vegas. Yeah. They have them. They're giving each other holy water with Cristal champagne, and you'll never see a movie where you see two people complimenting each other's titties.
You have great tits.
Yeah, great tits. Yeah, great tits too. Like, okay, that's an icebreaker.
I love it. I think more women should be doing this.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't say it. I mean, in your case, obviously, you're a lovely woman and stuff like that. That is, in a way, your persona. I would say one of your trademarks. And it's like, I wouldn't try to disrespect. I would try to be respectful. It's like, I wouldn't go that far if I want to get to know you. It's like, oh, my God, her boobs. Like, okay. She seems like a nice person.
We're showing off our boobs. We want compliments about our boobs. That's what I will always say about women. Well, whatever.
In a way, yes.
I just want one of the dresses that Henrietta has so that I can go whop whop and then my boobs pop out. That would be great. Oh, I'm going to work on that.
We'll finally get 5,000 subscribers, 5,000 people watching Rico that one night.
Yeah, that's another way for them to lose their channel.
And I'll even make a bad trick a little bit too, like during when Nomi gets the job in a way, and some of the weird backstage stuff. On some occasions, like there's two dancers that are at odds with each other. Like one says to the other, like you're fighting with each other. It's just, well, I didn't fuck the meter reader.
Yeah.
It's like and in one scene, one of the dancers, their kids are backstage getting dressed while women have their boobs exposed. It's not being shown on film. It's not being shown on film, thank God. But in a way, you get that aspect. It's like they're showing that they could probably see the women's boobs. Yeah. It's like, what the hell's going on here? And also,
don't forget about the monkeys.
Grab her! Grab her!
I got one.
I was just gonna get to that. It's like monkeys are pooping by eating garlic. They eat garlic?
Those monkeys are show monkeys. In the same way that the chorus line is expected to eat what is it, brown rice and vegetables?
Brown
The
rice and
monkeys,
vegetables, yeah.
the monkeys have to eat garlic. That's show business.
There is another scene like down the road, like when Nomi after Nomi's been working there for a little while, that members of Goddess have to promote the show. So they're also being they ask, hey, we can give you $1,000, come to the big boat show in Vegas.
Yep.
Just to do a routine.
Yep.
They do a routine there, get paid for this and stuff like that, which I'm sure it happens all the time out there. No big deal. And then one of the producers there says, hey, we have someone here from Japan. He's a high roller. He's a whale, if you will, which is big spender. And he says, yeah, we're going to go on the town, get some lobster, get some drinks, and we're going to go Caesar Sing. How about that, Which Caesar Sing is kind of code for, let's go back to our place and have a little hanky-panky, if you will.
Yep. And
of
Nomi
course,
does not take well to that.
I was paid for this. Like, okay. And then later on there, Zach, she reports this to Zach, and she calls him over. It's like, you do this to one of my dancers again, you're out of here. And she said, thanks for backing me up. And then he calls him back and say, hey, I was just fucking with you. So obviously they didn't give a shit about her at all. It's like just playing that's the business there, if you will. But we'll get to that later too.
Yeah. And again, at this point, she really likes Zach. And that is one of the things that makes her like Zach even more, is that he fake stands up for her in this challenging situation. She continuously fluctuates in all of these relationships. And she also gets to see the other fluctuating relationships backstage. So we know, you mentioned these two feuding girls who are backstage, who are part of the dancers. And one of them ends up dropping marbles while they're on stage performing. It really just seems like there's a lot of hatred within this industry. There's so much, you want to be on top so much, and you are a whore so much. You're enough of a whore that you have to work your way up to the top by making other people literally fall.
Absolutely.
It's quite tragic.
And it really will. In a way, it is. In a way, it is. And sometimes that's what the entertainment business is like these days.
Now, you mentioned earlier that Nomi does end up getting a visit after she has started at the Stardust from Al and Henrietta from the Cheetah. She's for some reason happy to see Al, which again, she hated Al up until now. But she's happy to see him. And Al's like, dude, you were great. What the heck is the scene?
I don't know. I'm laughing because we're gonna do what was said afterwards. Like, they wanted to see how she was doing, obviously, and Al does say one of the most classic lines in movie history when they leave. Hey, good luck, kid. And then he goes back and says to her,
Must be weird not having anybody come on you.
Yep.
Let me see. I could have been a contender. I'll make him an offer he can't refuse. Must be weird not having anybody come on you.
I think you're right.
Classic
that is,
cinema.
Top tier. It's so silly. It's so silly. And again, it doesn't make sense, because why does Nomi now all of a sudden like it? Like, I don't fucking get it. I get why she's happy to see Henrietta, because Henrietta's funny. But like, I don't get any of it. Regardless,
she's the only one who can make her boobs pop out like that. That's why.
I know. It's a good skill to have. It is a good skill to have. Well, after all of the excitement of joining the team at the Stardust and starting to succeed a little bit more, Nomi actually ends up leaving with Zach and asking to go back to his place with his very lavish swimming pool. And they have a good time in the swimming pool. First of all,
it's a wave pool.
It's, oh my God. It's so completely absurd. So we get to see his butt or a stunt double's butt. I didn't look that closely to be able to know the answer to that question. But he gets into the swimming pool naked with her. He's got a bottle of champagne. He pops it and he's pouring it all over her. And it's like a little bit sensual. She goes underwater to potentially give him a little underwater blowy. And then she goes under this waterfall. And then they have the most crazy erratic sex scene with tossing and turning. And I'm pretty sure at one point he's waterboarding her underneath the waterfall. And what the fuck is this sex scene?
She's moving around like a propeller on a Carnival cruise ship. That's what it looks like.
It's very dolphin-like in not a sexy way. It's the whole thing is, this is a horrifying scene.
You think?
It's horrifying. I do not like it.
It's bizarre. It's just, is that even humanly possible that can happen? She's very, give her this. She's flexible. I'll tell you that in her movements. But it's like
that there's any point in time that a penis could have been in a vagina during that sex scene successfully without breaking.
It's like if you watch, if like people watch Skinamax and there's a love scene and the woman is grinding on the man's belly button, which is like about 6 or 8 inches away from the area where the magic happens. It kind of felt like that. It's like, is she humping? Is she humping your liver? Is she humping his liver? What is he doing? What is she doing? If you're ever with somebody and you're, let's say, you're in let's say, for example, you're in a hotel and things like that happen. You're, let's say, in a pool, or let's say you have a jacuzzi in there, and the guy starts pouring champagne all over your head. And it's like, okay, is this good? Or it's like, what the fuck are you trying to do to me? Are you trying to what are you trying to do to me here?
Woody, I'm gonna take this one step farther. I don't understand why anybody is ever having sex in water. That's not a fun thing to do. I am vehemently anti-sex in swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
No, boo. I would take the champagne over the sex in swimming pool.
Okay, I don't know, why would anyone do? I mean, why would anyone even try to do it in a pool? In a way,
I am very anti this sex scene. And he waterboards her under the waterfall. That's worse than the champagne.
In a way, yes. I didn't think of waterboarding. Yeah.
She's literally getting waterboarded for a minute there. It's very scary. I'm worried for her health.
Yeah, after that and maybe licking poles, yes, I would worry about someone's health as well, especially her hygienic ways towards a stripper pole. Yes, I would agree to that.
Yeah, good point. Well, she ends up getting, after this encounter with Kyle, she ends up getting an audition to become Crystal's understudy, because Crystal's first understudy fell down because of the marble gag. So now Crystal needs an understudy in the event that she can't perform one night. And Nomi ends up getting the position as the understudy. Yay, Nomi. But then Crystal realizes that Zach is fucking Nomi. And because Nomi and Crystal have this very contentious relationship, the position as understudy ends up getting taken away from her. So Crystal ends up saying, no, I don't want her to be the understudy. This is the point of the movie where Nomi then becomes friends with James again. So James, again, she was mad at James earlier because James was banging Penny. Now she's going to James's dance performance, where Penny also is.
At the Crave Club, called a private dance. Yes.
And people are booing James and his dance. To me, they looked like they were doing a better job than Nomi generally does, but I guess to each their own. I don't understand the point of this scene either. So what we learned during this sequence is that James has gotten Penny a ring because Penny is now pregnant with his child. And it sounds kind of like James is giving up on life during these sequences. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to work at a grocery store. I'll get a discount on baby food. Good job, dude. That's great. That's really, really great.
Yeah, her father owns a chain of those.
It's very peculiar. So you mentioned a couple of times that there is this conversation that keeps being had between Crystal and Nomi about doing nails. So Nomi does cute little nail art on her nails, and they're within the showbiz industry, so they have to have sexy little fingernails. And Crystal throughout the film is asking Nomi to paint her nails.
Do you like my nails? Not as nice as yours. Maybe I'll help you with yours sometime.
During the sequence where Nomi realizes that she is no longer going to be the understudy, Crystal says one of the bitchiest lines to Nomi. She says something to the effect of, "Do you think you could do my nails now?" And it's after she's already implied that Nomi is bad at nails, and she's already implied that Nomi's nails are very whore-ish and all of these things. Mm-hmm. And she goes, "Do you think you could do my nails now?"
Hey, I thought about it, darling. You think you could do my nails now?
And this would have been the only time, and she asks this in front of all of these girls backstage, this would have been the only time that I would have actually accepted Nomi storming off. This was a bitchy line that was intended to piss her off, and Nomi didn't storm off. And I couldn't believe it. It was the only time in the whole movie that she didn't storm off. And it was the only time she legitimately...
Was it because she said about her nails because of her age, or like she was too old or something like that?
Yep.
I didn't even understand that there. I didn't really understand that, honestly. So it's like, now you're not being... Now that you're not higher echelon, now can you do my nails? Now that's all you're good for now? Or is that something...
Yeah, I think that was the point. Yeah, that's all you're good for now. Exactly. So I would have been pissed off if I was Nomi. I was pissed off for Nomi, and she didn't even storm off. None of it makes any dang sense.
Mm-hmm.
None of it makes any dang sense. But regardless, Nomi is no longer going to be the understudy, but she is still a part of the chorus line. So they do yet another performance. And as they are exiting the stage, the staircase that has become a totem throughout the entire movie, Nomi is coming down the stairs right behind Crystal, and Nomi actually pushes Crystal down the staircase after this performance.
Mentioned many times before there too. Careful these stairs. They go up and down these things 6 times a night. Yeah, be careful. Yep. Foreshadowing.
Yes. And of course, there's lots and lots of debate about what is going to happen with the show, because now Crystal can't perform anymore. She has a broken hip or something like that. I can't remember exactly what happened to her, but she's out for the count. She cannot perform anymore.
Yeah, it was a hip. Yeah.
So Zach delivers another great line from this film. He says, "We're going to do what we always do when we're in Vegas. We're going to gamble.
We do what we do in Vegas.
What?
We gamble."
And they're going to gamble on Nomi.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Stardust.
So she becomes the star of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, Nomi. She's got all of her wishes, and all she had to do in order to get there was to push somebody down the stairs and be a giant whore, even though she hates those things. Yay. Good job, Nomi.
And in her first performance, the lighting that they used to make them look like the goddesses, it's like, ew, God. It's like the Seinfeld episode where he meets a girl where she looks good in one light, and then when the light is off, or it's a different light.
Boy, am I glad to see you.
You expecting someone else?
You never know.
I could go either way.
You're telling me.
That kind of looked like there. She looked like Katy Perry in an Alien video.
That's funny.
With Kanye West.
I think the makeup didn't help also, but...
Oh, that there too, yeah.
this ends up actually causing a rift between Nomi and Molly. So again, a lot of the movie is just Nomi's relationships falling in and out of positivity. Molly gets very upset because Molly believes that Nomi did in fact push Crystal down the stairs. And so Molly is not in support of that. And Zach decides that they need to celebrate Nomi's wonderful performance. And so he holds a big, gigantic party. And Molly doesn't even want to go to the party, even though her huge celebrity crush, Andrew Carver, is going to be there.
Oh, I've been waiting to get to this part. By the way, when they celebrate her, it looked like one of those gaudy, baby gender reveal parties.
Yeah,
that causes 50,000 acres of California wildlife to be set on fire.
The fireworks.
It felt like that. Yeah, it's like a little bit gaudy there. But yeah, I've been waiting to get to this part. It's like, can you? Oh yeah, there's like, she has Molly has this big crush on this guy. He's coming. Then she says, "Oh, she's coming. He's coming." She just wanted to come by just to see the guy, finally meet him.
Molly doesn't even care about that though, because now she's mad at Nomi. But she does end up going to the party because again, nobody's relationship or morals mean anything in this movie. So people get over things incredibly, incredibly fast. And Molly gets to meet her big celebrity crush, Andrew. And that does not go well because Andrew and two of his goons beat her up and SA her in the middle of the party. Now, this is actually, it's hard to say that I think that this sequence was well done because you don't want to say that an SA sequence was well done. But I liked that the incredibly brutal assault that is taking place in one of the bedrooms of this mansion at the same time of the party is happening, and we're getting interspliced scenes between this very brutal assault and between Nomi and Zach slow dancing and falling in love with each other. And I did think that was a very interesting choice. It is challenging to do something like that, where you are taking an audience member from seeing something completely horrific to seeing something very sweet. And I thought it was very well done. I liked this scene. That's again hard to say.
That was I didn't really pay. I wouldn't say I really pay attention to that part, but it's like that was one of the most uncomfortable scenes in the entire movie. Was that scene up there? It's like, oh, what the? Oh, I had no words for it. It's just disgusting to see.
It really comes out of left field.
Yes, and I even noticed something. And I'm one of those Easter egg nitpickers. Excuse me. Yeah. I actually looked in the background when everyone was dancing. Remember when we got to the part where one of the Japanese whales saw at the boat show was dancing? Said, "Hey, we're gonna have Caesar sing. We're gonna watch Caesar sing." I looked in the background, and that same man was dancing with the girl that danced with Nomi at that boat show. It's like, she felt uncomfortable. It's like, yeah, let's do it. And I see them dancing at there. It's like, wait, weren't you uncomfortable doing this weeks ago? Now what?
Well, she probably wasn't uncomfortable enough that the money didn't make it worth it, but
of course, whatever.
That's a whole different. And you know, this sequence with Molly is very tragic because this is her biggest celebrity crush, and it turns out that he is the biggest kind of asshole that can possibly exist in the world.
Absolutely.
She then leaves the room where she has been abused and falls into the party, which is crazy because so many people would have seen this. So many people would have known who she had gone in the room with. And there's a little bit of backfill explanation that we get a little bit later where they're kind of saying, you know, like celebrities get protected. And so we're not going to tattletale on the celebrities.
He's part of the team.
That's the implication. But I would think that if a girl falls bloodied and beaten into a party, that probably not everybody cares about protecting this guy, Andrew.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the way the way her injuries were shown there too, not only in her face, but in certain part on her legs too. And
it's very brutal.
It's like, what I like, whoa, my God, what happened? Like that, and they looked at it, it's like, hey, he's part of our team. It's okay, In a way, that's what Hollywood is these days. I mean, anyone, we all know the story. It's like anyone gets caught with this. Oh, community service, they're okay because they're all protected. They're heavily protected. Probably back in the day too. Back in the early days, the biggest star, they got away with anything there too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's a challenging scene, not just because it's challenging to watch, but it's also challenging because the rest of the movie is so goofy and silly. And now all of a sudden I am seeing this. And it makes, Molly is probably one of the only truly sympathetic characters in the film. I think she's one of the only characters who doesn't really have a good and bad side. We just see her as being a good person. We don't ever really see a bad side of her. So to know that she is the person who is on the opposite end of this horrific abuse is that much more challenging, It's a sad end to her story.
Yes. Like when they're in the hospital, though, when she's looking after Molly, Zach is with her. It's like, okay, she gonna be okay. Then one of his associates has a file and says, hey, you want to see this there too. And then when says, is anything going to be done with this a-hole? And he says, no, we'll take care of it there too. And then the file he was given was Nomi's real story, real history, which her name is Polly. Her real name's Polly. And her backstory of, like, I think her parents were either killed or drug addicts or something like that.
Her father killed her mother and then killed himself. She has arrests for soliciting. She has arrests for crack, for assault. So effectively what Zach learns from this file is that in her past life as Polly, Nomi was actually a hooker. Yep. She was the thing that she hates the most.
Trying to get away from her past, and that one word is the trigger point.
Yes, that's exactly why we have seen her storm off so very many times. And again, Zach says that we in Hollywood, we in show business, we suppress things like this. So I'm going to suppress the fact that you used to be a hooker, and you're going to suppress the fact that Andrew just beat up your best friend.
I'm not a whore.
No. You're not. You're gonna be a big star. Your face is gonna be up on billboards.
Yes. I didn't think about that way, honestly, yes. And at the very end, they will say to her, what's going to happen to her? Oh, we'll give her a clothes shops in Vegas, just to pay things, just to tie things over.
Yeah.
And it's like, by the way, that was the game. It's like you play ball with us, we'll play ball with you and her.
So I really hate the character of Nomi. I think that that's the major problem with this film. But I do like she does get in a good moment at the end of this fight between her and Zach. Zach asks her, he's like, all right, well, I just got to know, how much were you charging when you were a hooker? And she goes, $50, maybe $100 sometimes. And he goes, man, you got really low self-esteem. You're a pretty good fuck. And she does this like little smirk on her face, and you like think that she's like being complimented because she's so stupid that I'm like, oh, she thinks she's getting a compliment right now. And then she spits all over his face. And it is just the biggest insult to Zach, and I love that. And then she takes things even further as this new powerful woman that she is. I am woman, hear me roar. And she goes to beat up Andrew as revenge for Molly.
Did you hear that? But the music for that, it's what was that instrument that was playing?
I don't know.
It's like, I don't know what it was. It's just bizarre. The guitar that was used is like, like, okay, that's kind of odd.
I'm going to be honest with you. The only thing that I saw in the sequence where Nomi is beating up Andrew is she takes her top off in order to do this because she's going to seduce him first in order to beat him up. Why does she all of a sudden, out of absolutely nowhere, have pepperoni nipples?
Mamma mia!
When the entire rest of the movie, her nipples look totally normal.
I don't know. I knew we were going to get to that point. It's like, I have no idea.
Her nipples are a different human's nipples.
Exactly. They're cup and char pepperoni. That's what they are.
It's so bizarre to me. It's so incredibly bizarre. And I'm sure that it's just like a makeup issue or a lighting issue. But I can't pay attention to anything else in that scene. That is the scene that stands out in my head. So there's two scenes that I always remember from this movie. The pool scene and then the why do her nipples look like that scene.
I have no idea. I just have there's no words for it. Maybe it's red pixie stick dust that pixie stick stuff that she put on there. I don't know.
That's got to be it.
But also, like I said, in watching the movie, I've seen this movie many, many times just to get a good laugh. Many of the times I saw it, though, was on basic cable, mainly on, I think it's on TBS or TNT, where the editing of the movie was quite unique. The computer-generated the computer-generated coverings of everyone's skin. That is bizarre to watch too, as not only the movie's bizarre itself, but just watching the edited version of it with all the skin edited off in a way that is a bizarre thing to watch as well. Entertaining but bizarre.
I've never actually seen an edited version of this. I guess I've been lucky.
Yeah. Well,
I wouldn't watch it without boobs. Again, the boobs don't save the movie, but I would not watch this movie without boobs. I wouldn't.
I understand. That's pretty much the whole thing of the movie, obviously. But it's like I said, I don't know.
It's so stupid. The movie,
and then we get to the end.
The movie wraps up, I think, with more questions than it does answers. So after Nomi beats up Andrew, she goes back to tell Molly that she beat him up. And then while she's in the hospital, she also goes to visit Crystal because Crystal's still there for her broken hip. And Crystal, it turns out, knows that Nomi pushed her all along, but she forgives her and they kiss and make up.
Right, and that's how I got this. Hey, that's how I made it in this business, is doing that.
Yep,
she seems to be happy with that injury. She's saying, "Hey, I'm getting a great settlement over this."
Yeah.
And then it's a weird thing too. And maybe I'm the only one to notice this as well. When Crystal was pushed off those stairs back then, I look at her face, and it was like she wasn't in agonizing pain. She looked like she wasn't like screaming in pain. It seems like she was not enjoying it, but it had like a little bit of a turn on in a way. It's like, it's like someone just shoved you off metal stairs and you've nearly been killed and you're liking this. It's bizarre. Maybe it's just me.
Sexy lady.
Maybe, I don't know, but it's like she's like so happy it happened. It's like, hey, I got a break. I probably get paid $10 million for this stuff, and then. She goes to visit her, gives her nice hat. They make out, and you look at Crystal's face. It's like after everything she's been through, being injured, and she's crying. You could see her like her chin wrinkle up. It's like she's emotional, and crying because she's leaving. It's like, in a way, it could have been a lesbian triangle there, a lesbian attraction to her as well.
Oh, there definitely is. That is the undertone throughout the entire film, for
Without
sure.
question. Mm-hmm.
Regardless, Nomi ends the movie in the same way that she starts it. She ends up hitchhiking, and guess what? Jeff picks her up again. And this time she says, you know what? I gambled and I won. And he's like, what did you win? And she goes, me.
What'd you win?
Me.
Oh, fuck. It's you.
Great job, babe. That's how the movie ends. That's our last line, is that she has won herself and Love for herself, I guess. I don't know.
She won back her self-esteem, and now whips out the knife and says, "Where's my fucking bag?"
Yep.
While they go
back at you.
While they go back to where they go to LA, and who knows what's next.
Yep.
And credits.
Yes. That is the end of the movie. So what do you think happens to Nomi? Do you think that she goes off and continues being a big star?
Could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's where it ends. Who knows? That's the mystery of things. That's, you could use your conspiracy theories off of that. I don't know.
I think that my problem with this movie is just that I don't care. I don't care. I care substantially more about Molly than I do about Nomi.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, you look also in back in the day, mostly, like I said, with the movies of Basic Instinct and whatnot, that erotic thriller was the thing in the mid 90s, if you will. I mean, like I said, with Basic Instinct, which is a great movie. Again, great movie, of course. Yes, it has the sexual undertones, obviously, but it worked. It was a great mystery, and they tried to do this again with the same writer and director. By the way, the writer of this was Joe Esterhaus, who at the day you look at him, and he looked like a strip club patron who went to the Cheetah, who apparently, because of this, he was like the highest paid writer in Hollywood. I think about several $1 million he was paid, I believe, for this script, if I'm not mistaken. Wow. And it's like, you wrote this? Are you kidding?
Up with?
Did a child? It's like a child could have written this. I'm not sure.
So, do you think that? So, I talked a lot about this movie. Actually, I was bragging to both Carl from Who Are These Podcasts and Trucker Andy from All Apologies Podcast. You and I were going to be talking about this. And they had very differing opinions. Carl said this movie is so bad that it's good. You got to love it because it's so bad that it's good. And Trucker Andy, I think, felt a little bit more similarly to how I feel, which is no, it's just so bad. How do you feel about this? Is this like The Room? Is this like a Tommy Wiseau The Room? Or is this just horrible?
Well, this is definitely one of the annals in movie history of horribly horrible movies. But it's one of those you just have to watch to see for yourself. And it's without question a bad movie, but it's just so campy and cheesy and stuff like that. You just can't help but, it's the train wreck. It's the car crash in New Jersey. You just can't, you got to rubberneck and want to see it like everyone else and stuff like that. So I would say in this case, it's like, it's horrible, but you just have to see it. And I've seen this a few times. I can maybe go to the neighborhood of, okay, it's a bad movie, but it's kind of funny in a way, the way it's been made, you know?
I've never had fun watching this movie.
I don't blame you.
The only redeeming quality for me, I think the only redeeming quality of this film for me has got to be seeing Elizabeth Berkeley move her body in more erratic ways than I could possibly imagine any other woman moving their body.
Mm-hmm. It's like Elaine Bennis dancing on Seinfeld. It's a dry heave set to music.
Yes, that is as accurate as it could possibly be. Well, Woody, we've managed to go through the entire movie. Do you think that there are any parts or any scenes in particular that you want to jump back to talk about before we actually rate this movie?
Well, there's one overlooked line in the movie that James says, and it's another classic line.
Yes.
Of everybody's got A's and shit. Okay.
Yep.
I can't imagine everybody. That's another bizarre line I've loved. Other than that, I don't think there's any other redeeming quality of this movie whatsoever.
There's not. You're right. I agree with you. 100%. So on my channel, I love to rate movies out of 7 thumbs up. So Woody, I am very curious. Out of 7 thumbs up, what would you rate this movie?
Oh, God. Oh, I have no idea. I would say in the campiness, I'd say 2 kind of thumbs up here. And the campiness, I would give it to a 7. because this is a legendarily bad movie that has to be seen to be believed. But in a serious way, in a critical sense, obviously, I would give it one thumb that's infected with botulism.
Yes.
A botulism covered thumb.
Yes.
Which is my one thumb.
I love that. I would give this movie 1 out of 7 thumbs up, which is a very low rating for me. I would not even let it redeem itself for the campiness. If it had a little bit more heart, if it had a little bit more anything, I could put it into the category of so bad that it's good, but I cannot do that. I cannot do that with this one. I just does not feel right to me. I just hate this movie so much. And I know everybody's going to hate it that I said that, but
I know it's a bad movie, but it's something you have to watch to see to see it, to believe it. And it's like, there's many movies also in my things I refuse to see, but there's some that have that curiosity factor. Some of like the most disturbing movies ever, like I said, a Salo or Serbian film and stuff like that, which I've seen reviews of and what the movie's about. Yes, it's not like that, but it's like you have the curiosity that you have to see it.
I would recommend both Salo and a Serbian film, and I would never recommend Showgirls. So
that's how bad this movie is. Some stuff that's most disturbing movies ever made. No, Showgirls is worse.
Yeah, it's true. It's so 100%.
Oh my God. What would you say in your case? Like I said, Showgirls in your case is bad. Of this, what besides this movie is probably one of the most hated movies you've ever seen in your life? What I say is your top 3 hated movies.
I was just gonna say this is my third least favorite movie of all time. My least favorite movie of all time is Waterworld. My second least favorite movie of all time is Wedding Crashers, and Showgirls is number 3.
Why Wedding Crashers? Wow,
I fucking hate
that's an interesting choice.
Wedding Crashers, I don't actually have anything particularly wrong with Wedding Crashers, but I think that it ruined the genre of comedy. I actually made a whole review about that, so it's one of my very early reviews.
It ruined rom-coms for you, let's say.
Yeah, and fuck Vince Vaughn also.
Okay.
I actually like him now. I've seen him since I initially started hating that movie do things like Brawl in Cell Block 99, and that is incredible. So I have renovated my opinion on him. But what about you, Woody? What's give me one of your least favorite movies?
Oh boy. Well, I used to watch a lot of movies several years ago. I don't go to the theaters that much or watch that many movies there. It's a weird thing I have. Like I said, if you ever want to see a great YouTube page, obviously Red Letter Media. They make reviews, but they also review bad movies, best of the worst. There are so many horrible ones. But in my thing, it's like, again, there's also, I'm a diehard fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000, obviously. I've seen all those episodes, all these horrible movies here. There's not one to pick, but I'm going like, I would say, in a way, some of the worst movies, I mean, I don't have this particular 3.
Yeah.
The Seltzerberg movies, you the date movie, Meet the Spartans, epic movie. Yeah. It's disaster movie. And it's like, these are the worst movies I have ever seen. And if I was a reviewer, I would just have one line. I would give it a 0 out of stars and say, I'm sorry, I didn't know a comedy was supposed to make you angry. I've seen these movies, and I didn't laugh once. It just made me upset.
I
and
totally
bitter.
Understand that.
It's like, they're so unfunny. It just makes you want to put your fist through a wall as to how unfunny all this is.
Yeah.
It's like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. I think that's a completely valid answer. I love it. Woody, I want to say thank you again so much for being here and talking with me all about Showgirls, my third least favorite movie of all time. I really, really appreciate you doing this with me. Do you have anything that you want to plug or let people know about?
Not really. Just once in a while, I'll be in the chat on Rico.
Yeah.
the OG of OGs, obviously. You know, we all know our credo. Stuttering John's a prick. We all know it.
It's true.
There we go.
It's true. Well, everybody, make sure to go check out the Uncle Rico show on the Shuli Network. So that is a great.
There
place.
is one.
Find Woody in the chat.
I wanted to mention something to you, and I know this could be a future one because I don't know in this year that you mentioned that your real job is in the law industry, obviously.
Yep.
And obviously, in your case, and what's going on right now with the lawsuit.
Yep.
There couldn't be the stars couldn't have lined better to have not only Luigi but yourself and our family to break things down to make it understandable for us who don't understand the law.
Thank you so much, Woody. I can't wait to do it again. And thank you guys all for watching. And I will see y'all soon. Bye.